G'day everyone, this is Anna Keenan. This is the last video I'm going to make before we know the results of the election on Monday night. Yesterday was my last full day of canvassing, Saturday. I don't canvass on Sundays. I spend the day making phone calls and hanging out with my son. And on the last day of canvassing yesterday, I was asking a lot of people, so have you made up your mind who you're going to vote for, or are you still tossing up? Do you know who you're voting for yet? And a lot of people were letting me know, actually, I'm still deciding, and it's the first time in a long time that I'm taking this long to decide. And people were telling me, some folks were saying, it's a toss-up between you and Heath, and others were saying it's a toss-up between you and Jody. And other people were saying, I might not even vote at all this election. And where that's coming from is a sense that people are frustrated with the current Liberal government, and so they're considering voting Conservative even though their values don't totally match their own. And others are saying, I'm scared of a Conservative government, and so I'm wanting to vote Liberal even though those values don't totally match my own, or even if I don't fully trust them. And so what I'm trying to offer is a viable choice in this election that steps outside of the two major parties, of the red and blue, back and forth, sort of black and white, left and right dichotomy, where there's so much conflict and disrespect and no listening and no productive dialogue anymore. It just seems to be oppositional, and this sense of, vote for us because you can't vote for those other people. And what the Greens are trying to offer is a positive choice, to say there are people who are out there, we're caring for our communities, we have a positive vision for reshaping our economy to be more egalitarian and fair. We want to look after the environment and our land and our communities, and actually give our kids hope for the future. And I did come second in the last election to Wayne Easter. Wayne Easter has now retired, and we are a viable choice in this riding. I'm quite certain that, from what I'm hearing at the doors, that I'm in either first or second place. I would actually be very surprised if I come third place in this riding, in this election. And I want to encourage people, you don't have to vote strategically for one of the two major parties. We do have an option to, step up and do something historic and make history here. We can elect the first Green at the federal level on PEI. We can elect a young woman. I would be the first of the millennial generation to be a PEI politician at the federal level. And I would also only be the fourth ever woman to be elected on PEI at the federal level. There's only been 3 women previously elected, and I think that is meaningful. And women do prioritize differently, and we do approach politics differently. And I think the 5 Green women out of the 8 in the Green Official Opposition Caucus, have done a really amazing job and shown people what Green women can do in PEI politics. We've got Lynn Lund, Trish Altas, Hannah Bell, Michelle Beaton, Carla Bernard. They are all doing phenomenal work on behalf of their communities, and I would love to do the same thing at the federal level for PEI. What else did I want to say? Some people have been telling me that Greens don't have a shot, we're not a viable option this election, and that's just not true. I think if the last 6 years have taught us anything, it's that the impossible is only impossible until it's done. 6 years ago, it was unimaginable to even elect one Green on PEI, and then we elected Peter Bevan Baker. And then, when I was the party president at the provincial level, we started getting organised, and we showed people that there is another option outside of the red and blue. We started to, build a party machine that could take on the larger, more established parties and could start to transform politics. Then we elected Hannah Bell. And then in the next election in 2019, we elected 6 more Greens. And now the Liberals are the third party on PEI, and the Greens are official opposition. And that's the first Green official opposition of any state or province anywhere in North America. So if the Greens are a viable chance anywhere in this country, it is right here on PEI. This is probably one of the top 5 seats in the country that the Greens could pick up. And imagine the message that would send. Instead of sending 4 MPs to Ottawa that are the same age group, the same gender, and the same party, we can show the rest of Canada that PEI has more diversity to offer. We have smart young women, we've got Greens, we're progressive, and we're ready to shake things up in this little province. What else did I want to say? I think that's it. You know, we can be the change here. We can show people that it's possible. I encourage people to be brave with their vote. You know, vote for what you want to see, not against what you don't want to see. That's the only way that we're going to get across the line here, is if people vote for something instead of against something. And we're trying to stand up for, you know, more civility in politics, more respect, a focus on getting results and not just taking political potshots across the aisle. That's how I would like to serve in Ottawa, and I hope that I've earned your vote. On Monday, I'm going to be in my campaign office pretty much all day, fielding calls from undecided voters. So if that's you and you'd like to speak with me about my positions on any of the issues, I'd be really delighted to talk. You can call my campaign office on 902-367-3910 and we can get connected. 48 hours to go, or less than, and in just a couple of days we'll know who Malpeque's new Member of Parliament is. So fingers crossed, and thank you very much for participating in the democratic process. Bye.